It is very important to understand the unique challenges of Tier 2 cities in India today, and especially the cities in Bihar, in Jharkhand and Eastern UP, because this is the area which is now at the early stages of growth. And it's very interesting when you look at the data. First, the air quality data that we are seeing from Central Pollution Control Board, it shows that the air pollution is already a crisis in this region. The levels in Patna, in Ranchi, Dhanbad, in all these areas, we are noticing they have already hit 3 to 4 times higher than the standard. So which means that the public health implications of that is very grave. And knowing that air pollution is the 5th largest killer in this country, we need to be extremely careful. The second point about this region is that even though total number of vehicles are still comparatively much lower than a big city like Delhi, but what is very alarming about the nature of motorization here is that the annual rate of growth of vehicles has actually exceeded that of Delhi. So if in Delhi we are seeing a growth rate somewhere between 5 to 6%, in this region it is between 10 to 12%. So imagine if the motorization is taking off at such a high stage, that what kind of congestion and pollution crisis is going to hit this region. And we are more worried about vehicles because the emissions from vehicles happen very close to our nose level, and they're also extremely toxic. In fact, diesel emissions have been classified by WHO as a class 1 carcinogen for its strong link with lung cancer. So if the number of vehicles, and particularly diesel vehicles, are increasing here, then you need to be extremely careful. The other part of the story is, but therefore, if the vehicles numbers are growing, then that means we have to take 2 kinds of steps. One, we have to ensure that the emissions from the vehicles are low. And for that, at one level, you need the central government to improve the emission standards, but at the local level, you need to do your vehicle inspection very well. Now, the only way you do the inspection today is that through the Pollution Under Control Certificate, the PUC program. And the PUC program, the evaluation that we have done back home shows that it's an extremely weak program and extremely vulnerable to corruption. So if that's the scenario, that means it's a very ineffective program. So we have to put effort in improving the system so that proper, credible tests are carried out. And at the same time, you have to discourage very old vehicles. But simultaneously, along with vehicle technology, you also need a transport and mobility strategy. The big advantage that this region has is that majority, in fact, more than 50% of the people, daily travel trips are still walk trips. And majority of the people are using public transport, which is your small systems, your 3-wheelers, your other systems. And the car usage is just about 5 to 6%. So that means it's a very small minority who are using the car. So if the government step in right now with a clear investment and roadmap to modernize and make your public transport more attractive, reliable, credible, and keep people where they are, then that is where you have the opportunity to leapfrog. And the last point that I would like to make is that where this region has an opportunity to leapfrog is that if you look at your total vehicle stock, as far as personal vehicles are concerned, it is the 2-wheelers who dominate that segment, and also the 3-wheelers, which are a very important part of your public transport. But these 2 segments are also the most polluting segment. So if today, if you take the opportunity of the electric mobility program of the central government, then that means what you are going to do is that you can make these 2 segments completely zero emission. And if that can be done and enabled, then Bihar, Jharkhand, UP can never become another Delhi, which is the most polluted and congested city in the country today. So do not repeat the mistakes of Delhi, and take preventive and precautionary action right now to protect public health.